Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Wandisa, aka Wandi Lou for Just Shea Butter, and yeah, we are back with another video. And today we are talking about transitioning. I didn't do like a major big chop when I went natural. I transitioned for about a year and a bit, and yeah, it's scary, but it's not as scary as just cutting all your hair off and going bald and just starting from scratch. So if you want to know more about transitioning, stick around, and yeah, let's get into this video. When I decided I wanted to go natural, I was a little bit nervous because I've always had long hair, long hair for a black girl. And by long I mean like it came up to here, which was like long. Anyway, whatever, let's move on. So I kind of had long hair-ish, medium length hair, and I was nervous about cutting my hair and just going natural. And luckily for me, because I was stretching my relaxer, I already had a little bit of growth to work with. But when I decided to go natural, I knew I was going to be stretching for a significant amount of time, just transitioning for a significant amount of time, because I didn't want to look like a child, like too much like a child. Like, I already look like a child. Like, I have a young face. I don't know what happened. Like, I can't help it. You know, my mom's got these genes. I have these genes. My family, we just all look young. So, I'm quarter to 30. I'm not there yet, but I really wanted to have like hair on my head so that I looked, I had something to style, still looked feminine and like a grown-ish person, even though I still look like a child. I mean, I'm going to insert a few pictures in here and you'll see that I was still very much out here with the baby face. But anyway, so transitioning, I transitioned for about a year and a half. Well, 1 year, 4 months, and it was a mind shift. I remember at some point I was really struggling, to be quite honest. I wish I had the confidence just to cut all my hair off and start from scratch, but I was really struggling because you're dealing with two textures, and where your relaxed hair meets your natural hair. Like, that line is very fragile, that line of demarcation, I think it's called. It's very fragile, and how do you look after your relaxed hair and look after your natural hair? So it was hard to kind of just decide, okay, like, what am I going to do? So I decided I'm going to really look after the roots and really baby my natural hair, and I prioritize my natural hair. So I made sure it was like always moisturized, heavy on the moisturizing lotion, heavy on the shea butter, especially on my roots, and then I'll just kind of ease up as I got towards the end, because my relaxed hair didn't really need all that stuff. During this time it's difficult because you might experience a lot of breakage. That line of demarcation they speak about, where your relaxed hair meets your natural hair, it's very fragile, and that's where your hair is most likely to break. So you have to be, your hair is in a very vulnerable state while you're transitioning, so you have to take extra care of it. At one point I was neglecting my hair and it started to knot up, and I thought it was turning into dreadlocks, like my roots were just tangling, because I would hide behind my relaxed hair, which was covering it, but at the bottom it was just like, it was a mess. And at some point I was trying to detangle, and I'm like, I can't detangle anymore, like, it's just ridiculous. And I remember there was a section right at the top where I actually just decided to cut off my relaxed hair in that small little section, and I decided to see, okay, because it's in the middle, and I wear my hair in buns all the time, what does this hair look like on its own, and at the thickest, you know what I'm saying? So I was forced to cut it because it was turning into like dreads on me, and I was locking up properly, But then yeah, so what I did was I cut it, and I could actually see, okay, this is what my hair looks like. But I wasn't quite ready, so I only had a small, like a little patch of natural hair, completely by accident. I'm not recommending you go do this, but for me it was helpful to see what my hair texture was and start to get comfortable with it, you know, do a little twist and then do the rest of it. So obviously, again, another thing when you are transitioning is that you've got two textures, they look different, and the key is to not make that change or that difference so noticeable, okay? And I wasn't trying to put heat on my hair and straighten my hair. I was really just babying my natural hair. I wanted to give it its best shot, you know, possible. So what I did a lot of Bantu knots, like Bantu knots. I just went crazy. So what I did was I tried to just curl up the rest of my hair, try and put texture on the rest of my hair. Now it didn't always look, you know, it didn't, like doing Bantu knots isn't going to turn your relaxed hair into a fro, but it just made my hair a little bit more interesting, a little bit more forgiving to the fact that I didn't have just one texture. So yeah, I did a lot of that. I would wear a lot of hats, not a lot of hats, but sometimes like I have a part in the middle and the part was really noticeable, so I just put a hat on top and have the curls underneath. I wasn't really into wearing head wraps at that time. I don't know why. So hats, Bantu knots, and what else? Oh yeah, and then sometimes I would just like wear it my hair in a bun and then put a silk scarf at the bottom just to press my hair down, you know, straighten it, make it look more sleek. I would do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, I wasn't like, I've never really been a braids person. Like I really love braids, but I just can't sit in the chair for 6 hours and then you might only finish tomorrow and you know, all that stuff. And after I decided to go natural, and guys, like hair salons, and I became very, very sensitive. And hair salons for me were a scary place because I felt like they were just always sweeping my hair, you know. And they didn't care about my hair the way I cared about my hair, and they were not very patient. So I haven't been to a salon in years. Like I'm so scared to go to a salon. So anyway, braids were out, weaves were out, even though I'm not really a weave girl. Yeah, even though now I might be a wig girl. Hey, yeah. So that was, I didn't really have that many options. So I had to like do. I remember at one point I did, you know, I used to do flat twists, and on the one side of my hair, or flat twists on the side, and have a bit of a mohawk. Just try to make. The key was not to have my hair looking straight. You know, my relaxed hair mustn't look straight. Just so that you can, it doesn't look so obvious, okay, I'm transitioning, or I've got two different textures, you know. And I did this for, you know, a year and 4 months before I cut my hair. And I mean, I cut my hair well before I thought I was gonna cut it. I was gonna wait another 2 months, I think. But I got so frustrated and I got so tired and of the two textures. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just gonna go and cut my hair. It was easy for me to cut my hair because I could just cut it at the line of demarcation. Where the relaxed hair meets the natural hair. You know, you can see, you put some conditioner in there, you spray it down. Like, it's so funny, like the relaxed hair looks so limp and just like sad. Next to your vibrant natural hair. So it was easy to see where to cut, and I bought scissors from Discam, which were really expensive, but you know, they're not regular scissors, they're like specific for your hair. You want to get proper scissors. You don't want to go to just your stationery and get random scissors, because that's how you're going to get split ends. And I started cutting my hair, and that was, you know, as I've spoken about this before, so liberating and so freeing. But the transitioning process was hard. I cut it on like a Thursday because I was just like so, I can't deal with these two textures. I felt completely out of control and I just cut my hair. I went to work the next day and it was fine. I think as a tip, I would probably say if you want to cut your hair, cut it on the Friday so that you don't have to like see anyone the next day. So you give yourself some time to get comfortable, because I was in love with it, and then I thought, oh crap, I'm going to work. How do I really look? You know, do I just sometimes what happens is you want to love it so bad, so you convince yourself that you love it. But then when you think about other people and in the work environment, am I going to be okay? Anyway, I did like it, thankfully, and it was fine. It worked. People embraced it. It was good. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with the transitioning thing. You know, but before I transitioned, like I said before, I didn't say, okay, this is my last relaxer. Now I'm going to transition to natural. It kind of was a gradual process, because I was stretching my relaxer. So by the time, you know, I was stretching for 3 months, it became 4 months. By the time I got to the 5th month, I was like, you know, technically I've been transitioning for 5 months. Let me just keep pushing for a few more months. And I was kind to myself. I think I said to myself, you know, I know the ultimate goal was to transition for like a year and a half. You know, you have to just take it 1 month at a time. And as you know, as every month progresses, you're like, oh well, that wasn't that bad, and I can still do this. I'll do this for 1 more month. I'll do this for 1 more month. So just be kind to yourself, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be ready. Like mentally, you have to be ready. You have to know that's, you know what, you've got to push through. You know, it's not going to be as easy as when you relax. Like it's going to be a learning process, and it's not going to be as easy as just cutting all your hair off and starting from scratch when you have one texture. So when you're transitioning, guys, kunzima, it's very difficult. It's a lot more time into your hair. But for me, it was necessary, because I wasn't trying to cut all my hair off and look like a 12-year-old in the office. Like I wasn't. I didn't have the face for it. Like I'm a little, you know, with a chubby little face. Like it was never gonna work for me. So I really admire the girls who can just go like proper cut their hair off. Like good for you. I mean, that was just not an option. I didn't have, you know, the face for it. So yeah, that's what happened. You must know there's gonna be a change. And really you need to spend time looking after your hair. You know, for those of you who like braids, like you are gonna love this, because then at least you can protective style and wear your braids for a month, then change that out, put something else on. Unfortunately, that wasn't my journey. That wasn't for me. Like I was so scared of going to salon. But yeah, that's definitely an option for you. And now you've got wigs. You know, there's so many options, and you can put a head wrap on. You're getting a bad hair day. Like for me, I couldn't really hide beyond wearing a hat. So I spent a lot of time trying to style my hair. But as I was styling and as I was doing my little flat twist, I was learning about it as well. Transitioning is hard, but it's definitely worth it. And you just gotta take a lot of care of your hair. Like you just gotta look after like a little baby, look after your edges, try and make your natural hair match your relaxed hair than the other way around. Like I wouldn't put heat or straighten my natural hair just to make it look like my relaxed hair. Like that's not being very kind to your natural hair, in my opinion. But yeah, it's definitely an adjustment, and it's not easy, and it's not comfortable, and you have to really put in the time. But keeping your hair moisturized, looking after that line of demarcation, oil it up, deep condition. It's funny, like I feel like now that my hair is longer, I don't even deep condition that often. I should. I keep saying this. I'm gonna try to be better. But when I was transitioning, because I was so paranoid, I deep conditioned a lot. And it helped a lot. It really helped. You know, at some point, literally, your hair, you look a little bit ridiculous. Like I think I'll insert a picture at some point, maybe here, where my afro was just getting big and my relaxed hair was like a sheet over it. So at some point it looks ridiculous, like the fro will just stand up and you can't like make it flat, and your hair, you'll have a few dodgy hair days. Well, I did, had plenty of dodgy hair days, but you know, stick with it, stay on the journey, stay inspired, look after your hair. Sorry, I thought I saw somebody at the window. Ooh, yeah. So look after your hair, and yeah, and just keep thinking one day, like, you know, like one day we will be here. You will be here one day. So just be patient. Everybody's hair grows, and the funny thing about this whole like transitioning process actually is that I borderline started to detest my relaxed hair. I'm like, this relaxed hair is holding me back, you know. And then I cut it, and my hair was short, and I looked like a child, but it was okay. It was okay. I put a clip in it, and I kept it moving. Like, that was just it. Sorry guys, there are monkeys. This thing of living in Durban, monkeys, like just outside. Like, anyway, alright, I should probably end this video. Okay, anyway guys, I hope that was helpful. Just giving you the realities. There weren't really that many tips, except for, yeah, be patient, look after your hair, moisturize, put in the time, keep yourself motivated, you know, follow somebody on Instagram or on YouTube that has a similar hair texture to yours, watch a few hair journeys, see where people came from, where they are now, and just stick with it. Transitioning is probably harder than anything else when it comes to your natural hair care, but it'll only be for a year, you know, or 6 months. Alright guys, so that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully soon in my next video. Bye. Okay guys, so as promised, here are some bonus clips. Where do we begin? Okay. I had a plan, but now that's gone out the window. So just to start over here maybe is best. Yeah, so you see the progression from when my hair was like freshly cut, newly natural, to right about where I am now on the bottom right. My hair probably isn't that long anymore just because I've cut it since then. So but yeah, that's kind of a little bit of hair inspiration for you. Yeah, so when I cut it, I know I said it was liberating, but actually I was so nervous. This is halfway through the process. Yeah, that's how much growth I had after 1 year and 4 months, which is quite significant, you know. I was actually able to put my hair in a bit of a puff. I mean, I was forcing it over here. Bit of a puff after I cut my hair. Now you can see like I was pulling it all the way to the top. Like, this was not good for my edges at all. I don't recommend this. But yeah, I was basically really happy. Freedom, you know, after a year and a half. But that line of demarcation that I was speaking about, here we go. So you can see where the afro starts and ends, and the relaxed hair at the end just looks, I mean, it's pathetic. It looks so sad in comparison. So like when I took this photo, I'm like, okay, no, it's time for a change. But yeah, apologies for the quality of these photos as well. Like, I didn't really plan on doing a YouTube anything when I took them. What else? So yeah, when I was transitioning, this is right after my last relaxer. So my hair was getting really long, which it makes it harder, much harder to it makes it harder to want to kind of go natural. But because my hair was like flourishing, I knew that going natural was the right thing to do. So yeah, this picture makes me laugh. I think I'd successfully done flat twists. I'm not the best braider out there, so this is when I was experimenting with flat twists while I was transitioning, just to give my hair some interest. Sometimes to hide my roots, I would, you know, put a scarf at the bottom. But I mean, my hair was still very much straight in this picture. Here, this is when you could really see my afro coming through, and it was feeding this bun at the top. But this is kind of, you know, what I used to do while I was transitioning. I wore the style all the time. What else? Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that my hair was like a dome. It looks like I'm wearing a helmet, because like the afro is just out there and the hair, my relaxed hair, is covering it. But it's just, I mean, you can kind of get away with it, but it was not my best day. Yeah, and over here, this is me with, you know, you can see the roots. I did Bantu knots in this picture, and again, I would just wear hats all the time, just to kind of hide any imperfections. Yeah, when I was free, guys. I mean, like my hair, okay, this picture, I don't know why I look so stressed out while drinking that wine, but this is what my texture looked like, you know, that coarse 4C, but just like beautifully textured, interesting hair. And I really didn't care. I was out there with the short hair, living my life, and that was that. Oh, okay, this is when I cut off a section of my hair because it was starting to knot up. But like, check out the shrinkage, you know. So this is my first little bit of natural hair, which was again really cool for me to see what my hair would do, you know, from that to that. So yeah, and that was kind of awesome. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's me. This is where we are. So it's been a journey, but definitely worth the struggle, because like I said, I couldn't really afford to cut my hair any shorter than this. But I mean, look at me here. I'm in my 20s in this picture and looking like a 15-year-old at best. So yeah, you know, if you want to transition, I'd say go for it. But when it becomes too difficult, I would definitely say just cut all your hair off. Not all of it, just, you know, wherever you are in the process, cut your hair and release the fro, because there's just no going back to relaxing after this. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.